towards people. When you get past a certain age, that stuff is old, because the goal, getting out of the hood and the goal growing up, is to get to this point in life to where you can enjoy life, things are awesome. You know, you want to be able to ride your bike and have fun, and you know, you do all of the things that make you happy versus giving energy or negativity to things that don't necessarily add value into your life. So if you ever dealing with something where you feel like it is putting you in a negative space, and this is not directed towards anything or anyone in particular, that's a fact. But if you ever dealing with something to where it's drawing you into a negative space, or it consistently, and this could be a girl, right? It could be a chick that you're talking to. It could be a circle that you're surrounded by. It could be a job that you're in. It can be an environment that you continue to subject yourself to. You got to remove yourself, and you got to surround yourself with things that make you or put you in a better space that allow for you to be a more complete human being. You see what I'm saying? You are the sum total of the people that you surround yourself with. And so you're going to evolve throughout your life, and you're going to see things, you're going to go through things. It kind of reminds me of high school. When I think about high school, when I think about a lot of times when you run into people that are only focused on how great they was in high school, it's like, so you telling me that was like your apex, that was the top of where you was at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I went to my high school reunion one time. I went to my 10-year high school reunion, and it was cool running into everybody. And then after that, like, man, I'm not going to all of the meetups. I'm not going to no 20-year. I'm not doing none of that, because, and it's not that the people aren't cool or whatever like that, but especially when you talk about this social media era, you already can see where I'm at. You can see what I'm doing every single day. A lot of people already know what's happening with me. I know, or I keep in touch with the people that I'm really, really cool with, or the people that I've been friends with since high school, or even all the way down to kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? And it's because we are equally yoked and we're going into the same direction. Sometimes people are only there in your life for that time, and that time is awesome, but you don't have to always relive it. You don't always have to go back to it, because you're going and you're growing. Both of y'all are growing into different directions. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that what people don't understand a lot of times, especially when you get older, and I'm going to assume that a lot of people is of mixed ages. I looked at my demographics. We study them every month, because we also got to submit them to the sponsors and stuff. But I looked at my demographic, and my demographic go all the way from maybe like 18, 20 up to like 54, majority men. And so when I speak to the majority of the audience that is resonating or following the content. I don't speak in general just to the general sentiment of people. Now, it can be applied for everybody, but my whole point is that growth is good. Growth is good. For me, specifically, if you notice, I never, ever am looking to go backwards or taking 200 steps backwards just to recapture a feeling, and I certainly, and this is really, really the biggest thing, I never do what people tell me I'm supposed to do. I do what I think makes the most sense as far as the direction that God is leading me in. And like I said, sometimes you link up with people, or sometimes you go, and it's an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing. I'm not going to try to go back into something for money. I'm not going to try to do, like, I don't even want to go back to previous jobs. I could amicably split from a job, and I never leave a job on bad blood or in a bad space. And I never feel a certain type of way with that job. But I'm going to just tell you, honest to God, there is nothing in my life that I feel like, or I look back in the past and I say, man, I want to go back to that, or man, I want to recapture that. I'm not interested in that. It ain't a job that I've never been to that I'm saying, yo, I want to go back to that, because I'm so focused on where I'm going instead of where I come from. It ain't a woman or a hoe that I didn't deal with where I'm like, man, that was a great, no, she was there for a moment, and she was there, and we had a great time, and now it's time to move on from her. You know what I'm saying? The only things I like old is money and classic cars. That's it. But I prefer new money more than I prefer old money, and I prefer newer cars more than I prefer the classics. I drive the new ones, but I look at the classics, and sometimes I pull it out, and it's a nice thing, and then I get into it, and I'm like, man, these windows is different to try to roll up, or I gotta get this check engine light. Nah. I like all of my shit new. I like growth, and just because you like new and you like growth does not mean that you don't want everybody else to win. I want everybody to win. I want people to be successful in whatever it is that they're successful in. But I'm always going to be searching for new. I'm always going to be searching for growth. And when people grow, it doesn't mean that they have to be, it just means that they grow into different directions. Now, of course, you know, this is the internet, so people are messy, and so they always take it to mean something else or whatever like that. It doesn't. Genuinely in my heart, it doesn't. It just means that I got people in my own family that I grew up with. When we see each other, it's love. But am I checking for every single person that I used to rock with in my past? Absolutely not, because I'm too focused on my future. I'm focused on living life. And I think that when you get past a certain age sometimes, for some of us, not all of us, there's a lot of us that's still in our past. When you get past a certain age sometimes, you realize that life is too short to be focused on any kind of negativity as far as trying to have problems with people. And life is too short to be doing what everybody else tells you to do. I am 1,000% focused on growth. I'm 1,000% focused on enjoying life. And next year, I'm gonna have newer cars, and I'm gonna have newer growth. This year, I'm gonna continue to trend in a positive direction. It's funny because even when I look at my numbers continue to evolve and grow. It's all about slow growth, progress, and continuing to push yourself to be successful. That's what life is about for me. So that's my message for the morning. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all focused on growth. I hope y'all focused on the money. And I hope y'all focused on balling and getting to it. That's what life is about. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all for the Millionaire Morning Show. We rock out with that at around between 7:30 Eastern. So adjust for your time zone. And we're going to have a great week. I got a lot of dope stuff coming in. I got my homegirl Mika flying in. I got some friends flying in. I got a whole lot of stuff that I'm working on. And we got some pre-recorded shows that we're doing for this channel in particular that I really enjoyed. We piloted them a couple of weeks ago, and now we're about to go full-fledged. Now that we're able to look at the analytics and the statistics, we see the opportunities that's in there. Even when it comes to this platform, I want to grow, and I don't even care about like what other people think. I want to grow in a certain direction, and I want to continue to evolve. And I don't want to be the same person that I was yesterday. And I love you guys. I absolutely do. Thank y'all for continuing to rock me. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description. And then teach Hanley 40% off your first order plus a free gift. Plus 20% off for life. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. See y'all today.
Exactly. So that's what
everybody don't got it though. Like to me, dad means to discipline and direction. That's what I'm here for my child. So if I leave my child on the wrong path, then it's the path she gonna take for life.
okay.
But a lot of times
Look at it like Diane and Canaan. Not Canaan, Cain.
I watch that one.
Okay, Power, they was done, like the kids was done from the start because the way Monet raised them, they got no choice but to live this life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always kind of the parents' fault.
But it's the choice that we made.
You're making them choices based on the things that you normalize. A lot of your morals and the way that you move comes from your parents. It comes from your surroundings. It comes from the things that people normalized when you were younger. So when you adopt that, that's the only way you know how to move. Now, yes, at a certain point, you have, as for yourself, you have to stop putting the blame on your parents and try to adjust. That's if you want change though. But if you don't want change, you're just gonna always look back to what your influence is. People don't even recognize how much those influences like guide their judgment, the way they make decisions in their everyday life.
But you gotta be aware of that to even change that. If they don't know that's why they the way that they is, they just think they just got that way. You know?
Who taught them that awareness though? Everything you know you was taught. The way that you think, somebody taught you how to think that.
That's true.
Yeah.
But nobody.
It's an and. It's not an or.
It's an and. It's all encompassing.
It doesn't absolve you from being responsible. Listen, you go out and you kill somebody, you want to fucking jail. I don't care what your previous history was. The other side of it though is, and he was raised around killers. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that it's a clear-cut answer. I think it's all on an individual basis. But yeah, I think that he's right. A lot of the behaviors that we've learned in our lifetime is a learned behavior. We didn't come up with most